The modern illusion of safety and why history keeps proving it wrong. Modern America teaches a quiet promise. If you buy the right gear, you will be fine. That promise is printed on tags, repeated in ads, reinforced by glossy reviews and confident sales talk. A -20 sleeping bag, a high-tech fabric, a trusted brand name. It all suggests the same thing. Safety is something you can purchase. But, history tells a harsher truth. When cold becomes real, uncontrolled, wet, windy, and relentless, gear alone stops being protection and starts becoming a liability. World War II proved this at a scale no outdoor catalogue ever could, and the lesson it left behind is deeply uncomfortable because it demands thinking instead of buying. Before we go any further, if this kind of history matters to you, if you value the hard truths that don't sell well but save lives, take a moment now to like this video. Share it with someone who loves history as much as you do, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to The Hard Past. This channel exists to preserve knowledge that comfort culture keeps erasing. Now, let's get into the truth. Why modern sleeping bags fail when conditions turn hostile. Sleeping bags work beautifully inside a narrow set of assumptions. They assume dryness, loft, calm air, and separation from frozen ground. Those assumptions collapse fast in real emergencies. World War II soldiers lived in soaked forests, frozen fields, trenches full of meltwater, and winds that never stopped moving. Insulation flattened under exhausted bodies. Down collapsed when wet. Wool absorbed moisture until it became a heat sink. Ground contact pulled warmth away hour by hour. Wind stripped heat faster than bodies could replace it. Temperature ratings meant nothing because they were written for calm laboratories, not for nights that punish mistakes. Military records and field notes repeat the same pattern. Cold weather bags existed, yet many soldiers abandoned them. They were too bulky when speed mattered, too heavy when wet, too slow to deploy under pressure, and dangerously vulnerable to wind. Comfort thinking failed because war demanded survival thinking. The problem wasn't the bag. The problem was trusting an object instead of understanding heat. Cold is not a temperature, it is a system of losses. History understood something modern culture often ignores. Cold kills through mechanisms, not numbers. Wind-forced convection removes the thin layer of warm air your body builds and replaces it constantly with cold air. Ground conduction drains heat into frozen earth regardless of what you wear. Evaporation steals energy every time moisture leaves skin or fabric. When these forces stack together, thickness becomes irrelevant. Loft becomes fragile. Bulk becomes false confidence. The old question was never, how warm is this item? The real question was, how well does this system control air, ground, and moisture? Once you see cold this way, the failures of modern assumptions become obvious. The shelter tube and the discovery of survival geometry. World War II soldiers didn't invent new materials. They changed shape. Shelter halves, ponchos, canvas panels, whatever was available, were joined into long, narrow cylinders just wide enough for bodies. The ends were sealed with packs, spare clothing, snow, or earth. This wasn't comfort. It was physics. A cylinder minimizes exposed surface area while maximizing trapped volume. Wind was cut off. Dead air stayed still. Heat stopped leaking in every direction. Snow piled on top was not feared. It was used. Snow traps air and stabilizes temperature. Condensation formed on fabric instead of soaking insulation. The system accepted moisture and controlled it instead of fighting a losing battle for dryness. The shelter tube didn't feel good. It worked. And in survival, that distinction is everything. Shared heat and the scaling effect most people resist. Modern culture treats shared heat as awkward or undesirable. History treated it as math. One body generates heat. Two bodies generate nearly twice as much without doubling heat loss. The shelter surface stays the same, while internal heat rises. German mountain troops, Soviet units and American forces all reached the same conclusion independently. Togetherness reduced exposure. Isolation increased it. Privacy felt safe, but it killed faster. This lesson remains one of the hardest for modern audiences to accept because, honestly, it conflicts with our comfort instincts. But, you see, cold does not respect personal space. It respects efficiency. Discipline over comfort and the acceptance of controlled discomfort was essential. Soldiers slept with boots on because, well, frozen boots meant immobility. Moisture was managed, not eliminated. Condensation was tolerated where it could be controlled. Dryness was pursued when possible and ignored when it wasn't. The goal was never feeling good. The goal was standing up functional in the morning. That mindset really separated survivors from casualties. Why did this knowledge disappear after the war? Well, after World War II, America shifted from endurance to comfort. Survival became leisure. Gear became products. Marketing replaced mechanics. The shelter tube photographed poorly and promised no pleasure, so, honestly, it vanished. Sleeping bags sold reassurance, not understanding. What didn't sell faded, even if it worked. Why does this still matter today? Power outages, vehicle breakdowns, winter storms, and emergencies keep proving the same point. People have gear. They lack systems. Understanding how to seal space, block wind, reduce ground loss, and control moisture matters more than any rating. History already solved this problem. We just sort of stopped listening. The real lesson history leaves us. World War II was not nostalgia. It was data. Techniques that survived did so because they aligned with reality. The shelter tube endured because it respected physics, human limits, and hostile conditions. It was honest. That honesty still matters. If this kind of hard history belongs in the modern conversation, support it. Subscribe to The Hard Past, share this video, and keep these lessons alive. Comfort fades. Understanding endures.